Hello, friends. Today I'm jumping in and going to be talking about unlocking your manifesting magnetism. Because actually, this has really been showing up in my life, and it's so important for me to share with you how simple it is because you're already so magnetic to unlock your manifesting magnetism. It's already within you, except all of you are so brilliant and you just love to live up in your head ruminating. Ask me how I know this. Hello. But I also get to see it in my clients who come to work with me inside Magnetic CEO Ascension or Energy Leadership One-on-One coaching, because I give them an assessment that allows me to see where they are resonating energetically. And a lot of them have high level 5 energy, which is the energy of somebody who is really brilliant, somebody who really creates, troubleshoots really fast, is a great problem solver, and also in the low expression of that frequency, because we all have high and low expressions of energy. In the low expression of level 5 energy, these people tend to really live up in their heads, ruminating all the time in analysis paralysis. So, that is one of the main reasons why you are unlocking your magnetism. And let me dive into this a little bit further and leave you with some tips at the end that you can start practicing, because I always love to leave you with some tactical, tangible steps that you can start to implement in order to integrate this work. The reason why it's so important to get out of your head and just drop into your heart and your body is because your heart actually has the most potent resonating energy of any part of your body. And I forget exactly what the hertz are, but you can go and Google this. You can just type in into Google, like, what is the resonating energy of the heart? Your heart creates your magnetic field. And if you're up in your head, you are not down in your heart. Remember, I started the conversation saying that you're all brilliant and you're all trying to figure out the how and the next step from your thinking mind. What happens when we do this is we are trying to create an outcome from the same exact level of consciousness that we're currently in. And if you want to create a different outcome, you have to connect to your higher self, which resonates from the heart. The heart is always guiding you, but we haven't really been taught to follow our heart. So Einstein has a quote, and I'm going to probably mess this up a little, where he used to say, you cannot solve a problem from the same level of consciousness that created it. When we are trying to create a new reality, as I just said, if you continue to stay up in your head, you're going to project that energy out. And that energy is the same energy that created your current reality. And so you're just going to keep creating the same reality over and over. So I always say that what we focus on matters. What I mean by that is that whatever you're paying attention to and sending your resonance to is what turns into form. It turns into matter. So let me give you an example of something that happened recently. I was putting out a freebie for my business, and I was doing the post to put out the freebie for people to sign up. And I was really like typing it from my heart. I'm like, oh, this is what they need to hear. And I always try to connect to my people energetically from my heart and like remember what they're needing. And then I just like was having the downloads of what I needed to post. And I type it up and it's like super scrappy. As I was reading it, like I do a reread after I type it out, I was like, oh, I don't know. I started to question it. And then I listened to my heart, which was just post the darn thing. Just post it with love, because your people are going to resonate with the frequency from which you post it. And if this is what came through you, and now you're starting to question it, you are kinking the hose of flow, because that's what we do when we don't trust our heart. We kink the flow of energy. And then at the same time, I was having going back and forth with a conversation with a client who has this brilliant offer, and she too was putting out her post to offer her freebie. And she was all up in her head about it. Now, I had already posted mine like maybe 5 minutes before we jumped in the conversation. And right after our conversation, I went and looked at my emails and I already had 10 people signed up. So I reached back out to her and I said, let me just be an expander for you. Here's an example of don't overthink it. Just do the thing. Lead from your heart. You're brilliant. Trust yourself. Lead from loving that your art is already magical and wonderful, and watch what happens and trust it and love it. Because what happens is too, when we're up in our head overthinking the thing and trying to be perfect about it, the energetic undertone is it's not good enough. Our art isn't good enough. Whatever it is isn't good enough. Wherever you're judging, you are not loving. And these two frequencies cannot work simultaneously. You're either judging or you're loving. So to go back to the example of my client and I and bridge the gap for you, I was putting out my post the scrappy way, but not judging it. I did get up in my head about it for like a minute, and then my heart was like, no, 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 we don't do this anymore. We don't get up in our heads. We just do the thing and we trust it. And then my client was overthinking it. And I, by sharing my story, hopefully expanded her and gave her the air quotes permission to lead her way and trust her heart so that we don't put the kink in the hose of flow. Because, like I said before, our people, our desires will resonate with us, will resonate with the love and the trust that we have when we take the inspired action. So this is a short one. Remember that you're always projecting energy out. And if you're an entrepreneur listening to this and you're putting your work out, the invitation here is for you to trust yourself and to lead, to understand that you are always projecting energy out. And if you're judging your art, that's the energy you're projecting out. And it's going to be reflected back at you with the results that maybe you're not wanting. You might not get people to sign up for your course or, whatever it is. Like I said, the opportunity is if you want to unlock your manifesting magnetism, lead from love, notice where you're judging yourself and bring yourself back to the frequency, the energy of love. Trust yourself, trust your heart, because your heart is always, always speaking to you. But when you're up in your head, you can't hear it. So the more you practice trusting your heart, the more you're going to be able to hear it. Practice self-love talk. That's another step I love to practice, is observing when the inner critic kicks in and not trying to get it to stop, talking, because that's just our nervous system trying to protect us. But when you do hear the inner critic talking, you take the lead. Again, you'll hear me talk about becoming the leading energy. That's what that means. When you hear that inner critic, you're the one that takes the lead and says to the inner critic, no, 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 I got this. We're going to lead from love here. We're going to trust that the thing is going to work out. We're going to trust that our art is magic, and you can take a back seat, so that the inner critic also starts to become tamed. So what you focus on expands. Lead with self-love and trust yourself more. And when that inner critic kicks in, make sure you shift it to self-love talk. Talk yourself nicely, pep yourself up, cheer yourself on, and watch how the magic of your magnetism, which is already within you, begins to unlock, and you start to attract amazing things into your life. All right, everybody, that's it for today. I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and I will see you on the next one.